redneck.
Okay guys, so we got another new addition to the shop. Neon clock. Of course, Chevrolet. I don't got the batteries in that thing yet, so it doesn't show the right time. The clock's not working, but I think it's kind of neat. I'm always wondering what time it is, and I gotta pull my phone out of my pocket. So it's gonna be nice just to be able to glance over and kind of look and see what time it is. Other than the fact it kind of looks neat. So I got that hung up there. Now I'm going to kind of modify my grill up there. Okay, so I'm going to try to get that grill to kind of come to life up there. I had a guy comment on my last video when I hung that up. Said he thought the headlights were gonna work in it. The headlights, I don't really want to get the headlights working. I mean that's a lot of power. Not to mention they're fairly bright, so I think it might be annoying having them on. Another thing is to be able to plug those in, I would have had to have brought the grill out another probably 4 or 5 inches off the wall. I really didn't want to bring it off the wall any more than I had to kind of give it a flush look up there. I know they have newer style lights for these that you can put in, like a LED bulb, which probably would have worked out, but it would take away from the old look of the the grill, I think. I mean, if I had a 79, yeah, I would probably upgrade the headlights, but for this, I'm trying to keep the old look of it. So instead of lighting up the headlights, I am going to light up the parking lights. So this is what I have. I went ahead and got some new sockets. From LMC is where I got this stuff from. They came with clear bulbs, but obviously I have clear lenses up there, so I need amber bulbs. So I got some amber bulbs here, new sockets. I got a cigarette lighter that I took off something that didn't work anymore. I've got a 120 volt to 12 volt adapter. And then I got a flasher here. So I'm going to wire this all up, and hopefully I've also got some wire here. I'm going to wire this up, and I'm going to try to get it to flash. I don't know if that's going to be annoying or not. I might just go and turn the parking lights on. I think I'm going to try the flash first, and then if that annoys me or something, I might just go with just turning the parking lights on. I think that's just going to be a better option than trying to get those headlights working. So I'm going to, I guess, get my ladder, climb up there, start measuring, running some wires. It should be a pretty simple deal here. Of course, you're going to run your ground, which is the black wire. I'm going to ground that to the ground wire on the plug here. And then you're going to take your positive. Now, if you just wanted them to be on, you would just run your positive to the brown, which is the parking lights. I'm going to try to go with the flash. So I'm going to do these yellow wires, and I'm going to run the power to the flasher. Then I'm going to, from the flasher out to these wires. So that's what I'm going to wire up here. I don't think you want to see me doing that. It's pretty boring. I'm going to get it wired up here, and we'll see what happens. Okay guys, so I got everything hooked up, and I gave it a try, and pretty much was a failure. This adapter, it says it puts out 650 mA. I'm guessing that's milliamps. That must not be enough to power those lights. Now, if they were LED, maybe they would. I'm not sure. I don't have no LED lights to give it a try. But what I am trying to achieve here is this. Okay, you're probably asking me, okay, how did you achieve that? Well, what I did is I just took the battery that I pulled out of my Ranger and just hooked it up, negative, positive. This is actually a sealed AGM Exide battery that was in there. I didn't even know it was that nice of a battery till I took it out of the plastic housing it was in. But that's a really nice, expensive battery. This is not what I'm going to use it for, but I just wanted to see this actually work, to see if I just wanted to put the parking lights on, or if the flashing would annoy me, or you know, just kind of see this concept working. You know, I'm still not sure if I want them blinking or not, if I just want to turn the parking lights on. But I do know that with these lights, this adapter isn't going to work. So what I did is I remembered I bought a 120 volt converter for my camper. And here it is. This is a 75 amp converter. I mean, it's way overkill on what I need for this. But basically what this does is it plugs into a 120 power supply, a plug-in. This is actually 20 amp, which I'll get to that in a second. Plugs into a 120 volt and then converts it to 12 volt. Actually, it converts it to 13.6, I guess. 12 volt. And then you've got your connectors here, positive and negative. You got your fuses here. This is 75 amp. It's got 240s on it there. So I was gonna try this. I was gonna plug it in. I was gonna stick it where I got the battery in the shelf there to hide it, and then run my power off that. Well, it's a 20 amp plug. So I've got to order an adapter to go from our 15 amp plug to a 20 amp plug. You can see these are 15 amp. The 20 amps will actually have a slot. Why this is a shop? Why these aren't already 20 amp? You know what? I don't know why. They should have been 20 amp, but they're not. So I'm gonna order an adapter. So I'm gonna order these parts here, and then when I get them, I'll continue on with the video. Okay, so I finally got my 20 amp or 15 amp to 20 amp adapter here, and you can see this one actually has a breaker on it just in case the 20 amp, you know, draws more than the 15 amp circuit can handle. But I believe the shop has 20 amp circuits, so I'm not sure why all the plugs aren't 20 amp. So I don't think there's going to be any kind of problem. This is not going to draw anywhere near enough to trip any breaker. It's just 2 parking lights, so this is not going to draw much power at all. Quick trip to the auto parts store. I just got me a little mini fuse holder. I was going to put a 10 amp fuse in there, but I only had a 7.5, so I'll have to find a 10. 7.5 should be enough. I don't see why it's going to draw that kind of power anyway. Cheap switch, on-off switch. Some connectors for the switch here. So I'm going to go get this stuff installed over there, and I'll show you what I got then. Okay, so I removed the battery and I installed my converter here, the one I showed you on the welding table. Basically, here's the plug. I got it fed behind the underneath the cabinet. I've got it plugged into my adapter, and then the deal is plugged into the plug there. So basically, when I plug it in, well, actually it's plugged in now, so it's got power. Basically what it's doing is it's converting the 120 volt to 12 volt here, and this is where they come out. This is where there's bolts that hold in the wires here, positive, negative. I got my fuse on my positive right here, going to the switch, and then this goes to my lights up there, basically going to the flasher, and then the flasher goes to the lights. And and then the negative comes from the negative on the lights there, comes down. I got everything going into one wire. Here's the negative. So when I take this and I turn it on, it turns on the lights. So when I want to shut it off, turn it off, and I got nothing. So, I mean, this should work. I'm going to tuck that back in there, put my little trucks back up there. You probably never even noticed that. Probably will mount a switch, kind of a nice switch somewhere. I'm changing these cabinets out, so I'm not going to do that right now. But this is how I accomplished my deal here. And this thing will handle a lot more than just that. So if I want to add some more 12 volt stuff to the shop, or to another grill I put up there or something, I do have options. And I believe they make these smaller too. So I really could get a smaller one, do the same thing. But I guess we'll see how this works out. Okay, so we got the dirty trucks back in place. This thing, I guess, can get warm. It's got a fan on it, and it does have all kinds of louvers here. So I'm kind of going to leave it on the rest of the day. See how hot that gets, make sure it's not going to cause any trouble. I got to do something with the wires back there. And with the plugins. I need to add a strip or something, a power strip down here, to get all these plugs out of the way, because now they're sticking in the way. But I believe I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish here. And I guess if the blinking annoys me, you can hear that flasher too. If that annoys me, I might just go with the parking lights maybe. And maybe I'll do headlights eventually someday, but I'm gonna stick with the parking lights, I think. And then as I get more grills here, we'll see what I do then. So I guess that's it for me, guys. I guess I'll see you in the next one.